that you have mastered basically the left side of your brain, which is the one of the masculinity. When was the last time you cried?
Maybe a week ago.
Why, Genia? You chose consciously to go towards this path of entrepreneurship if it makes you cry.
Even if someone pay me, I will not do this bath.
You enter into the ice. Spike of adrenaline. Oh my god, the house is on fire, the tiger is jumping on me. I was planning to die into the snow. Your brain is like the table. What doesn't serve you controls you.
Hi everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. And here we are talking not only about investments and entrepreneurship, but also about healthy habits and about spirituality. And today my guest at the podcast is Ferdinand. I'm following him on Instagram for a long time, and he's a professional in ice bath experience. He's organizing it professional for a lot of people in a super beautiful place in Dubai. And I think that you can probably try it just because it's so beautiful experience. And please.
Yes, my name is Ferdinand Morellec, and I'm an entrepreneur in Dubai since 2 years now. And I'm organizing experiences, physical and online, for the mind. So how to develop the power of our mind, which include also, of course, our mental health and physical health.
I've been following you on Instagram for a long time, and I know that you're doing these retreats with breathwork and then meditation, right? And people are diving into ice. And I know that it's very popular, and people use it as a technique to probably straighten the nervous system, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I really wanted to try it for myself many times, but every single time something came up and I was like, okay, probably I'm not ready. And recently, right now, I decided to talk more about not only business in my social media. I have around 30,000 followers on LinkedIn, and most of these people are entrepreneurs and investors, and this is the network that I'm building as a core of my business. But I was also thinking what else these people could be interested in. And I'm very interested in spirituality and in a lot of, I'm building a lot of healthy habits. For example, I don't drink alcohol. I am doing Chinese tea ceremonies for my friends. And I'm thinking, okay, so what else I can do? And then I'm looking at these ice procedures. And so I think that you're the most popular person in Dubai who is doing that, who is guiding people through that. And I really want you to, share with me and with my audience today, maybe how did you come to this first? And then what is the secret? Because I think that it's super uncomfortable, but some people really like it. And some people think that they cannot even live without that right now.
So Genia, you want to focus full on ice bath today?
No, I think that could be just the first question.
Sounds good. So, what can I say? Guys, at some point it's a matter of priority. I know that you love business. Genia, I know. And I guess your experiences of life and the one of your viewers have led you to enjoying business. And you're most probably very successful at it. Amazing. It means that you have mastered basically the left side of your brain, which is the one of the masculinity, the one of the organization. Amazing. But now I don't know how old you are, but you might start to be conscious that there is something else. Another side of the brain, which is the one of the feminine energy, the one of the emotions, of the feelings. Ice bath, biohacking, breathwork, anything you wish. The truth is just about reconnecting with our own awareness, our own feelings, and being able to just feel better. Because what's the point to do all the practices, but to not feel good? At the end of the day, it's all about feeling good. Once you feel good, there is no problems in life. It's just all good. I mean, you're feeling high on yourself, high within yourself, and the whole world the whole problems disappears. So I guess it's a matter of priority. Right now, you have been focusing on business. Amazing. And you're at a phase that you ask yourself questions about what's next and what's up with my life. And maybe, I don't know where you're at in terms of families and things like this, but you feel something's missing maybe, or at some point, you have to throw yourself into the ice, or you have to throw yourself into some kind of practices in order to experience something new and discover something new about yourself.
But do people do that because they have questions to themselves?
No, it's because it's trendy.
Or maybe it's because it's trendy.
It has to start from somewhere.
But what is the motivation of people usually? How do they come to it?
Many different. Sometimes it's just because it's trendy. Sometimes it's just to tick a box in their to-do list, which is also fine. Sometimes it's because they love to suffer. They think it's about suffering, which is not about suffering. You see me, I'm a pretty relaxed guy. I mean, if I would love to suffer, I will not live in Dubai.
But do you think that some people still suffer when they do that?
Yes.
Yes?
Because they go there with the wrong side of the brain.
Yeah.
They go there like if they're building a
Without
business.
breath work, without meditation. If
Yeah, for example.
Yeah, it could be uncomfortable, right?
It could be very helpful. You know, like I myself use a lot of breath work. I think it's the foundation of... It's like the remote control to your system. So using breath work, it's a tool. It's like you using a CRM to manage your clients. You know, it's the same thing. You don't make a business just with having a CRM, but having a CRM allows you to have a successful business. So it's the same thing. And I think it's just a matter of which part of your nervous system are you connected with. As a modern society, most of us have learned to use the part of stress, which is the sympathetic part of our autonomic nervous system, which is the one of thinking, the stress, the left side of the brain that I was mentioning. The issue with that is that, yes, life is perfect on paper because you're controlling, you're planning, organizing, and everything looks perfect. But maybe you feel empty, or you feel alone, or you feel like you, I don't know, you struggle with humans, for example. And after a while, people feel or alone, or they have 4 cats, or, we start to see these patterns to compensate a lack of emotional intelligence. So going into this ice bath, for example, don't get me wrong, it's going to improve your hormonal system.
I think that
and
emotional
everything.
intelligence and feeling, let's say, upset or empty or alone is different. So emotional intelligence, I don't know, like probably you're better expert
it's
in that.
interesting.
So I think that emotional intelligence is your resilience to certain emotions. Let's say a taxi driver decided to give you an attitude, or your employees are not happy with your clients. And so when you feel calm and you feel confident, it shows your high emotional intelligence. But at the same time, you could be upset with something, let's say mistakes that you made, or I don't know, you broke up with your spouse, or I don't know, some like significant other, and then you feel alone or lonely. And then this doesn't, I think it's just completely different.
Okay.
Or correct me if I'm wrong.
No, it's a very good point. And thank you for making the comparison. We are all, to some degree, emotionally intelligent. And for example, what you just mentioned, from a business perspective, you have learned that basically, if one of your team members completely mess up, okay, but I will stay calm, because if I start to be upset about it, it's just going to destroy even more my business. But emotional intelligence go way further. I will ask you a question. It will give me a foundation for our discussion. When was the last time you cried? A good cry, not
Like
just one tear.
Maybe a week ago.
Okay. Do you want to tell us why?
I can tell, yes. I think that I was very stressed about some of my clients who were delaying like payments, and I had a lot of pressure because I planned a lot for my team and for my business. And I was thinking, God, how I will do that? Like, what is the way to actually go through that? And so, I had a lot of pressure from people around me. So I was thinking, okay, I'm helpless. And then I had this moment. And then after that, I was like, okay, I think I'm good.
And now I'm asking you, why, Genia, you chose consciously to go towards this path of entrepreneurship if it makes you cry? It's just an open question.
That's such a good question. I think that I cannot do anything else except this, because this really makes me fulfilled, happy, and satisfied.
But you're looking for ice bath.
I'm Sagittarius,
Me too.
and I was born in the year of Tiger.
Okay.
So it means some fire, you know.
Yes, and we are enemy signs because I'm born in the year of monkey. So
Okay.
it's enemy signs, but it's good. My cousin is tiger.
Okay.
And
so I really like to try some things. Let's say I was in Vipassana retreat
amazing.
3 times.
Okay.
And then I jumped with parachute, with skydiving here in
Amazing.
Dubai. And then what else? I crossed Bosphorus swimming, 6.5 kilometers swimming. So I really like to stretch my boundaries
It's really good.
in a certain way. And so I'm thinking, everyone are doing this ice bath. And I'm like, why I'm not doing that? And at some point, I really hate cold, even though I was born and raised in Russia. Like, I really like warm weather and I really like to be in comfort. So I'm thinking, even if someone pay me, I will not do this bath. But then right now I'm doing Kundalini yoga. And then
Amazing.
my teacher is saying, oh, Genia, you definitely need to do cold plunge every single morning. And I'm like, okay, I probably need to learn what is it in it, why I have such a fear to doing that. And then that's why I decided, okay, I need to talk to an expert.
That's very good. So I believe that you already have actually done work on yourself in many ways as an entrepreneur, but also you have searched for emotions with the experience you just described. So the ice bath, for example, it can be scary because of the cold, but also it's scary sometimes because it will bring you back into deeper sense of feelings. And you, for example, Genia, and that's why maybe we are on this call, on this conversation today together, is that you already have done a little bit of the path of experiencing and feelings, but it goes way deeper. It's a rabbit hole that God knows where it ends. And this is actually scary for the cold, don't get me wrong, but also because once you're inside, the brain shuts down. If you're well guided, the brain shuts down and you feel, and you do feel cold. But then it keeps you into this state of feeling and you feel more. You know, there is Carl Jung, and maybe you have heard about this philosopher from Switzerland that is died now, but he said, we must make the unconscious conscious. And he's talking about the repressed emotions. And we all have, all of us. And therefore, there is practices like the ice bath, or the breathwork, or the sadhu boards, or just meditation like Vipassana, that allows you to enter into a state that makes you digest emotions. So sometimes the mind finds good justifications, like for example, I don't like the cold. I myself don't like the cold. Just for you to know, I myself don't like the cold, but it is a matter of priority. There is part of you, Genia, that you have not yet touched. Maybe from your childhood or maybe from past life or whatever you believe in, but there is untapped power. And I know that there is untapped power because you haven't yet went through this experience. But there is untapped power that you may have that I don't have because you have done things that I haven't done. And as Albert Einstein say, true wisdom only come through experiences. So you have wisdom that I don't have. But at the moment, I have wisdom of the ice bath that you don't have. And you're a seeker. You're Sagittarius on top of that. Like, you see? Goosebump.
Wow.
There is things, no joke. There is things happening. Mm-hmm. I hope I convinced you, but my goal is not to convince you.
So let's talk a little bit more about, you said that it makes, it helps people start to feel something, right? Like it works with emotions, right? I really need to understand right now what it actually gives, except that, okay, so there is something that I haven't learned about myself and I really want to learn about myself, and it will, it's like for every single person who is in discovery, that's something, an added value, right? But also how it works with emotion, how it helps to work with emotion.
Very good. Emotions can be digested when we enter into a state of rest, the parasympathetic state of our autonomic nervous system. The problem is that in modern society, the iPhone, the job, the emails, the entrepreneurship, it's constantly pushing us back into stress. So emotions get stuck and we never digest them. And now your questions might be like, but wait, Ferdinand, going into the ice, it's stressful. It will never put me into a state of rest. The good news is that physiologically, when you enter into something like this, you have a spike of adrenaline, which is also a hormone of stress. But right after, it drops. And when adrenaline drops, inflammation drops. And when inflammation drops, it shows to your brain a signal that you are safe. And serotonin, for example, can be released, which is the hormone of happiness. And we all want to be a bit more happy. So, from a pragmatic point of view, no spirituality here. You enter into the ice. Spike of adrenaline. Oh my God, the house is on fire. The tiger is jumping on me. It triggers our reptilian, brain like a caveman. And then, or inside or after, actually I'm safe. All good, I did it, Inflammation drop dramatically. So the brain is like, I am safe now. Relaxation, emotions come. And we see people cry, or we see people remembering things of the past, or just learning things about themselves. Anything that is hidden in your unconscious. Maybe not all of it, but one door can be open.
Wow. Okay, I want to try now.
But it's cold, huh?
It's very cold. Can you tell me, how did you start that?
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't want to. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? It's cold. So, long story short, I almost died of hypothermia actually when I was 22 because I was very depressed. I will make the story short, but I just...
We have time.
Yeah. But I feel like I've repeated it so many times. Long story short, 22 years old, very depressed, alcoholic, using substances. I feel that my ego is so big that I know it all about life. Life is trash. I'm done with that. And so I just, I live from the west side of France and I start to walk to the east side. I broke my phone, I broke everything. I just took a backpack the day after Christmas and I start to walk. And my goal was to walk to the east until Russia, maybe, to walk to the east until something happened.
Barefoot?
No, I was not barefoot at that time.
Okay.
And I was not doing anything with cold. I was not yet into this kind of practices at all. I was working in a nightclub after doing master in business. I mean, it was all business and money, and it was not very healthy. It was not healthy because it was only that side of the brain. And therefore, I end up a few weeks later almost dying in a tent between Vienna and Bratislava. And anyway, I survived. Therefore, I had already an interesting connection with the cold. And 4 years later...
So it was in winter?
It was in January, yeah.
Wow.
I left France the day after Christmas and it was a few weeks later. It was mad. Into the snow, I was sleeping outside. I was popping Xanax and taking vodka.
Did you think that you probably should wait until summer?
No, because my goal was to look for this experience. My goal was to not come back. I mean, we're talking about a one-way ticket, you know, like I was...
So the plane was to go to China or like...
No, it was to go into the beyond. Like I was planning to die into the snow. Like no joke. Yeah. Wow. No, I wanted to die. Like I didn't have the courage to do it the manly way because I was so depressed, but I was also so weak. So I was like, nature will take care of me, you know? Yeah.
Wow. It was actually very strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, big time. I almost died. But 4 years later, I'm still depressed. At that time, I'm 26. And my cousin is also in a difficult situation. We take a lot of substances, a lot of alcohol, and the whole world is doomed, and human beings are a parasite. I mean, you know, when you're like twisted in your mind. And this guy, that cousin, he started to do breathwork, and it was the beginning. So we started with breathwork, and then ice bath, and then I reconnected with that. Went to one retreat, another, a lot of awakenings, and I became a student for life. And it became part of my life.
That's very interesting. Have you tried something else? Some other practices? Do you do yoga?
Yes. I'm really bad at it, but I love yoga. Here we cannot go too much into depth, but any kind of ceremony, you know, it's plants and things like this. Any kind of practices, I'm very open to many things. But I'm mostly specialized like in breathwork, ice bath, and sadhu boards.
You know, so I think that I already also tried different things, but I differentiate all these things that, so let's put it this way. Every single person really curious about what will be after death, right? That's probably, even if you're not spiritual at all, you're very curious about that topic. That's probably part number one. But also, just because you have the curiosity about that, you probably want to try different things that are working with your mental state. And that's why some people go to different substances and alcohol, and some people develop physiology. Let's say they build their nervous system stronger, or they work with different traumas through psychologists and therapists. And then I think that breath work, yoga, and then ice bath, it's something like I would probably classify it in this group where you develop your body and you make your nervous system stronger. And so right now I'm trying, before that I tried group number one, these different retreats and substances. Right now I'm trying how to do it in a sober way. And I also see that, let's say some people are trying to develop imagination, for example, or they are manifesting something. So every single day you're meditating on money, let's say. You're meditating that you're living in a huge house, and then it's probably, I don't know, it's a lot of trees growing, and then Rolls Royce, whatever. And they like picture it every single day. And then at some point you're kind of living in this reality, and every single action that you make in your real life, it just bringing you to that. That's how it works. So I really like to know a little bit more about these techniques. If you tried something like this group of techniques that are developing natural skills, capabilities, and manifestation.
Okay. Yes. And I invite you to try anything that works for you and to dig a little bit, sometimes twice, into the same practice, because one example sometimes doesn't mean much. But the truth is that you cannot really be healthy if you're not freeing yourself from your mind. It may not make a lot of sense, and if it doesn't, I invite you to dig into that concept. But it's part of all religion, it's part of all practices, it's part of all monk or masters. Any wise man is saying the same thing. The issue is that sometimes we want to free ourselves from the mind with alcohol, for example. It was working very well until it doesn't, you know? There is a healthy way to actually not destroy your mind, to disconnect from it, to free yourself from it, but just put back your mind into its right position, which is a servant. The mind is a servant. It's a tool. It's here to serve you. Your intellect is here as, okay, I want to go from A to B. All right, the map. All right, cool.
Let's slow it down a little bit.
Sure.
Because I am absolutely sure that part of my audience, they are high-performing, super accomplished people who don't understand what does it mean that your mind is servant. Your mind is your mind. Like,
Okay.
It's everything that you have. Without your mind, you
All
don't
right.
have anything else.
Okay, I understand. It's funny because before, by the way, Genia, I'm very bad at replying to questions. Sometimes
Really?
you ask
You're
me
very
questions and I go completely on the other way. The funny part is that now some of your viewers might be like, this guy is spiritual, but I'm not anymore. Quantum physics and quantum science are actually catching up with everything that spirituality has been saying since forever. So if you have doubt about what I'm saying because it's woohoo, but sorry, bro, but not anymore. It has been proven, for example, that consciousness is the foundation and existence and matter are just mental. So everything that you see here, everything that you do is your mind. It's a projection of your mind. Okay. So for example, this table is here to serve me. But I'm not going to serve the table. I mean, I'm not going to bend myself over or crack my back to keep it carrying it. No, it's a tool. It's here for me. If we expand a little bit this logic, your brain is like the table. It's here for a purpose. It's here to serve you. But it's not the master. I mean, I'm not going to wait next to the table waiting for the order of the table. No.
But who is the master then?
So who is the master? The consciousness, the awareness, your soul, the one that set the mind. You know when you say, I'm going to set my mind. Okay, but here everything is there. Something is going to set your mind, your awareness, your soul. It takes time sometimes to disconnect. That's why there is many practices. I'm happy when I manage to go back to the loop, you know. That's why there is practices for you to experience in a healthy way this separation between the awareness, some will call it the soul, your true self, and the mind.
Yeah, and if you don't call it a soul, because some people also don't believe in soul, but it's just very healthy practice to actually understand when you wake up. Is it, let's say you woke up in emotions already, you feel anxious, frustrated, you don't understand what is that, and then you're carrying it to your work and then your family.
Yes.
And then this is the situation where your mind is like guiding you, right? But
it depends.
some people just don't understand that there is a mental hygiene where you can actually disconnect to these emotions and understand that that's not you. It's just, I don't know, past trauma or, I don't know, bad dream, whatever.
Yes.
And so you can kind of set your mind, exactly like you said.
In a way, yes. What doesn't serve you controls you. So sometimes your mind set is good. You don't have to think about it. It's going to make you money because you all good. It's set. But sometimes the mind set that you have is going to bring you suffering because you're going to be alone or because you feel the cravings to smoke vape or to drink alcohol or to do anything that is not good for you.
Or even in business. Sometimes you
even in
wake up and
business.
thinking, how am I going to do that? It's not possible.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
So sometimes your mind disserves you.
Yeah.
What doesn't serve you controls you. So therefore, it is always the mind in a way. The mind is like our CPU, you know, in a computer. It is like, is it good or bad? No. It is how we use it. But it's just a CPU. Your awareness is the one using the computer. And therefore, some people just run by default. Okay, now I'm here. Blah, 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 blah. My job is not to do ice bath. Genia, you think I would care, to be honest? It's not to do breathwork. It's not to do sadhu board on any kind of experiences. Guada, same for you. I hope you feel me. It goes way beyond that. It's an awakening. It's a realization of who we truly are. And it's a journey, by the way, I'm not Buddha. It's a journey that me too I am on. But every time you realize a little bit more that, okay, this practice just allowed me to feel something and understand something, true experience. And you have done already many. And sometimes you're like, oh my God, I'm into something. I'm fishing something here.
Mm-hmm.
You're fishing your own soul. You're fishing your own awareness, your own consciousness.
I also think that sometimes, let's say you have a set of practices. I don't know, you have breath work, and then you have some stretching, I don't know, some yoga exercises. And then at some point you understand that that doesn't work. And I've seen it a lot. And I do understand that the more you grow personally, spiritually, emotionally as well, the more you need more instruments. And sometimes the current existing set is not enough, right? Maybe this is exactly the point where people go and try ice bath.
It depends. What is your definition of working? When you say it doesn't work?
It doesn't make you feel good. Let's
Okay.
put it this way.
Okay. Yes, but that's, I guess, if that's the case, I feel it's also a very natural thing to not work like a computer.
Yeah. And I also want probably to add here. So when I passed the Vipassana retreat, it's like, basically, just to explain it, it's a meditation which you do in still posture, or let's say in walking, because it depends on the tradition of Vipassana. And then you just observe your breath, and that's it. And you can observe it here, if it's like when you breathe in, it's cold, when you breathe out, it's warm. Or you can observe it here, like your belly is moving up and down. That's it. And so I remember that our teacher, he was Australian, a Buddhist monk, and he said that you don't need to expect anything of your practice. So let's say sometimes your mind is wandering around, and maybe you're just accept it. Today is that. Today, this practice was probably not ideal. And maybe tomorrow it will be different, and the day after tomorrow. But for us, let's say for me personally, maybe because I'm Sagittarius or whatever, I don't know, I really keep these tools to actually keep my mind still, and then obviously to feel happy, and to build my resilience. That's my goal. Okay. So I kind of all these spiritual tools or practices, I may probably call it not spiritual, but just, yoga, or I don't know, some other things. Yeah, breath work. For me, it's just to keep myself happy, and then resilient, and then that's probably it. And so the point is that very long conversation, that sometimes I understand that, okay, my set is not working.
Yes.
Because probably I get used to it first, and then probably the responsibility is bigger than it was before, or maybe uncertainty is bigger.
Yeah. We tend so much to put ourselves in boxes and finding the perfect set. But maybe the perfect set of today is not the perfect set of tomorrow, because you're not the same person as yesterday.
Yeah.
And your life is not the same as yesterday. So I guess instead of using a lot of energy to try to find the perfect set, let's use awareness. Mm-hmm. What am I attracted to today? I want to do ice bath. I want to do meditation. I want to go for 1 week Vipassana. Mm-hmm. Let's use our awareness. And actually, once we accept this logic, it brings so much peace.
Let's probably first define awareness.
Okay.
So I understand it that awareness, it's your state where you're not attached to your emotions. You don't feel like, oh, I'm upset, so I'm this emotion. Okay. I'm upset. No, okay.
Awareness?
Yes.
Awareness is when you're conscious about something. Mm-hmm. So, for example, are you aware that I'm in front of you right now? Mm-hmm. Yes. So you have a certain level of awareness. Mm-hmm. Now, are you aware about what exactly your body needs as a food intake after this podcast? Yes and no. So. You know, it's like, okay, maybe something
water.
light. Something light, or just
Mm-hmm.
vegetables, something like this.
Mm-hmm.
You may not know exactly, but you have some kind of awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Within this range, some people has zero level of awareness, which
Mm-hmm.
means that they will just do what comes. Some have an average, and some have a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The good news is that we can work on our level of awareness. The more you work on your level of awareness, and I will maybe develop a bit this after, the more you start to understand what you truly need, what you truly want, what people truly want. And you can start to connect with the right actions. Instead of following a set of practices that you have read in a book or that you have from ChatGPT, I speak French, ChatGPT,
Mm-hmm.
you can actually do it from awareness.
Mm-hmm.
So today, I want to be alone. Today, I don't want to work. Today, I don't want to work. You know what? Today, no. Because I know that tomorrow I will perform better. And I don't care if I said today I'm going to work. No, today, no.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, today I'm going to walk barefoot. Yeah, because I feel like I'm going to walk barefoot. But if one day I want to put shoes, I'm going to put shoes. I don't fit in any boxes. I am the box. I am the everything. This is awareness. And it sounds funny because it triggers something in you. Because it should trigger something in you as well. The more you take time, you talk about biohacking. Let's do Vipassana. Let's be silent. Let's look at our environment and at ourselves and take a moment to digest information. The more you have time to digest information, the more you're aware of your environment and which action you have to take. The same as we do in business. We're going to benchmark. We're going to look at the stats. We're going to look at all this. But about ourselves, ChatGPT, what I shall do tomorrow? All right, okay, but today it's ice bath.
Yeah, but I think that the biggest fear of every single person who is working on a job, that the moment when you start being more aware of things, you will lose a job, you will lose a position. Maybe you would need to move out of your apartment and maybe sell your car. So, and people just cannot keep up with that, right?
True.
And it's really scary.
True.
And so I know that some people, they go to therapists only when they are divorced or something bad happens to their health, because they kind of forced to. They cannot process it anymore themselves. And let's say, do you think that there is a certain way how to work with these fears?
Sometimes it's a very good point. Sometimes, and it was my case as well, when I started this journey. It's like I had a knife on my ribs, you know, and I was asking my coach, how can I feel better? And he was like, remove the knife. And I was like, no, how can I breathe? no, just remove the knife. No, maybe ice bath, you know. So at some point, it's a matter again of priority. It's like, if you want to keep your job because it makes you feel safe, okay, be at peace with your choice. I'm not here to say we should all be anarchists, but let's be at peace with our choices. If you have a knife on the ribs and you want to keep it, it's okay. It's fine. We all have some. But let's be at peace with that. And then, yes, of course, you can do a bit of breath work. Of course. But don't be too hard with yourself, because it's never going to make you feel amazing. Because maybe you should stop your job. Maybe you should leave your man. Maybe you should say I love you to your dad, or I forgive you to your mom. I don't know. But let's go to the roots and be at peace with ourselves.
Let's talk about alcohol.
Yeah?
It's a very interesting topic to me.
You have some?
Not with me, sorry, but we can order. Yeah, so my last glass of wine was July 8th.
Okay.
And before that, it's just funny because I was taking alcohol only when I was in Saudi. In Saudi, you know,
Okay.
They don't sell alcohol, but yeah, I had very good friends every single time.
Network.
Yeah. And every single time in the morning, I had such a enormous amount of guilt that I poisoned my body, and I feel every single molecule of this horrible liquid in my body. I don't have clarity. I don't feel good. I cannot work. I cannot, like a lot of things. And I was thinking every single time, why am I doing that? And at the same, in the end, I just decided to stop at some point. And since that, I remember that in 4 months, I had very interesting insight that the sensitivity to smells raised very, like, and I also talked about that. There were several people who also decided to stop drinking alcohol, they also said that in the span of 4 months, there is some changes in your body that you start being aware of. And it's like very significant things. And so after that, it's just a chain. So after that, I understood that I'm super sensitive to every single toxin in cosmetics, in food. I also used to cover nails with like plastic polisher. I also get rid of that because I cannot tolerate any kind of toxin on my body right now. And I'm thinking that before that, I used to have mood swings. And I remember that I was depressed at some point. So let's say I shared that I was crying last week, right? But it wasn't that I was depressed. I felt upset for a while. I gave this emotion some place. And then after that, I felt happy. And I remember that before that, emotions were guiding me when I was drinking alcohol. And actually some time after the decision that I don't want to drink anymore. So just because you also have your journey, can you share it as well? And then maybe you can also share like how did you get rid of alcohol in your life and what impact it had, this decision.
I mean, I don't know. I'm drunk right now, so I'm completely smashed. I stopped actually 4 years ago, a bit more than 4 years ago. And yes, about what you said. Yes. For me, alcohol.
That's it, finished.
It's good. It's a very good topic. It's like, why are we drinking in the first place? Me, I had now the time to be more aware of what I was doing now. It was a big part of my journey of understanding.
Beautiful. You have a glass, and then you have this atmosphere, and this Dom Perignon. It's like an atmosphere.
Yeah,
thing,
but
right?
too, Genia,
Like...
she's fancy, you know. Me, I was with the hobo beer, not even cold, drinking alone in my bed, you know. That's a proper alcoholic, Genia. That's when it's a
I didn't go that deep.
Oh, thanks God. Yeah, it was part of my personality. And I had to dig within why. And actually, it started when I was around end of 13 years old. It started very early for me. I was very depressed from the beginning.
Well, your parents trusted you a lot.
Yes, actually they did. And it was another part of my work as well to forgive them and to see the beauty in what they have done. And actually, I love them so much, and they gave me so much love, they gave me so much attention. They did their very best, but I didn't see it at that time. And I felt like they was not giving me what I was needing. And therefore, I was feeling a lack, and alcohol was my way out. And it was a very cultural thing as well in where I was, so it was very easy to just fall into that trap. And alcohol was a big part of my life from 13 to 27, 28 years old. And one of the greatest things I have done to stop. But the thing is, like, if I tell you stop alcohol, you're not going to do it. For me, it was too hard. So what I did is, like, I just worked on myself. When we talk about awareness, I just worked on myself. Ice bath, breathwork, going to nature, being surrounded by better people. I had to move country as well. I was living in Malta. I had to go to something a bit more healthy as an environment. And at some point, I remember I took a beer and it tasted like gasoline. Well, what is that, you know? Mm-hmm. And from that day, I stopped. And 2 years ago, I even tried. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to drink. Impossible. It's disgusting. It's like drinking petrol. And it has been proven, by the way. You know, the study when they put cocaine into the rat cage, and the rat is addicted to the cocaine. But if they put the same amount for the same rat, but in nature, the rat doesn't care. It doesn't care at all. You take a bit, it never go back. So change your environment, change the behaviors.
Wow, interesting.
If you put me back where I was living at that time, give me 2 months and I'm back at the...
No. I'm absolutely sure that you won't get back.
No, because I'm not the same.
Yeah, so right now I'm in a stage where I'm so sad when I see my friends are drinking.
Why are you sad?
I just cannot tolerate it. And I understand that this is a phase. Maybe at some time and at some point I won't be, even care about that. But right now I just cannot process why do people do that. And I don't participate parties where people are drinking because like I said, the sensitivity to smells raised, and
Yeah.
every single time when people are drinking, they smell a lot. I just cannot be at these parties.
Tell me more. Tell me more. How long is it gonna be your friend? You know, that's the true question. Because you're not gonna care. You're not gonna care about them, maybe.
Maybe at some point I will get to the point where I definitely don't care. I can participate in these events and I'm fine with it.
Alcohol, it means I don't want to. I'm not Arabic, of course, so I may make a mistake. But from what I've learned, it means flesh eating the spirit,
Mm-hmm.
and therefore it's like going back to the animal state. You know, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying make choices that serve your best interest.
Yeah, so as a conclusion, I would say that probably maybe not do like these hard decisions, like, okay, since Monday I'm not doing that, but gradually understand what your body really needs.
Yes.
Because for example, for me, it was like a logical transition that every single time when I drink, I understand that I shouldn't because I feel very bad next day. And I don't want to harm my health. And that's exactly why I decided to stop. And with your case, I think it was the same, right?
Yeah. In a way,
Mm.
let's focus on what you just said actually, because it's fantastic. Is that when the why is big enough, the how is easy.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And your why was good. It was enough to move on.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it was the same. It's like I was like, no more of this life. I don't want
Yeah.
that life. I'm done. I'm over. And I was all in on the healthy side. Let's say at that time, the way I was seeing it. So the why was big enough. But I don't believe in saying, "Oh, tomorrow I'm gonna stop." The why is not big enough. It's focus on yourself. Focus on your health. Focus on the way you see yourself, the love for yourself, the love for your parents, the judgment that you have about life, about the more you're at peace, the least you need these kind of substances.
Let's probably talk a little bit more about happiness
No.
in general.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think that for a lot of people, and for me personally, I think that I went to spiritual path, I would call it this way, because I was very unhappy and very depressed. And I think that a lot of people are probably, they think, I'm fine. But you can actually be more happy. And in this case, there is no why, right? It's just the only driver of your life, right? You cannot be, for example, you're very rich, but you're not happy. That's a trouble, right? And so is there any other practices or techniques for people that you can recommend so that they can be happy?
Let's start from the roots, from the beginning. What is your definition of happiness? Do you have one? Do you have one? It's like,
I think it's a feeling. Okay, right now I'm happy. Okay, right now I'm not happy.
yeah, but you can feel sad and still be a happy person. It's a state more than a feeling.
I mean, if you ask anyone in the street, are you happy? Everyone will say, oh,
Let's
yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
true.
of course.
True.
I have a very good life.
Yes.
But
And then, then
yes,
they will be smoking.
but
and,
then it's like deep inside, I don't feel like the feeling of happiness.
Okay. You have time?
10 minutes.
I will make it short. I believe happiness is the progress towards alignment of yourself and your life. Is that being on the progress of being more pure. And what I mean by being more pure, it's very simple. Is having your emotions, your thoughts, your actions and your words aligned. The more you're able to make choices in your life that are aligned with yourself, the more you're going to feel happy. Happiness has nothing to do with being a good person or a bad person. This means absolutely nothing. There's many people that are way much more happy and they will look like bad people than those who are like, I'm such a good person, but I suffer every day. Let's just find who we are, understand who we are. That's why I talk about awareness. And then taking actions towards these alignments with ourselves. I feel it's a good framework to work with.
I also have a very good tool that I want to share. It's a gratitude diary.
It's what?
Gratitude diary.
Okay.
So whenever my mind is directed to my clients delay payments. My team is not happy with something, like I said. And then, I don't know, my friends are canceled meetings with me, you know,
Oh
a lot
no.
of things. In this moment, I just understand it. Okay, I just need to sit and write down 10 things I'm grateful for. And when you redirect your attention from things that are like missing expectations to things that you're really very happy with. Let's say I had amazing matcha before our conversation with you right now today. And I really like my makeup today because my makeup artist did an amazing job. And so when I focus on that, at some point, I understand that some things that are not linear, I haven't expected. Some, I don't know, person who met me in the street, he goes, "Oh, Genia, I know you from LinkedIn. By the way, I want to raise capital. Can you help me?" Yeah, of course, let's do that. And then this person can probably sign an agreement for you and wire money in this day. So it's like things that you kind of not expect happens. So I think that for me, it's probably the most powerful tool, how to become happier. A gratitude diary.
It's from a scientific point of view, it's genius because the brain cannot experience gratefulness, gratitude,
Great.
and anxiety at the same time. It's just incapable of doing this. The brain.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like moving your hand forward and backward at the same time. You cannot. So the more you focus on being grateful, the less you will feel anxious. So yeah, it's scientifically right what you're saying.
Cool. So you came here barefoot today.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Yes.
Is that a healthy habit?
I don't know. The streets are not very clean, but my foot.
We're in Dubai, by the way, guys.
We are in Dubai, so it's a clean
In
street.
the center,
but
in Business Bay.
you know, the bottom of my feet look like an old car tire, you know. So it's been a long time that I don't really worry about it. Yeah. It's also because my size is 48, 47 Europe size, so it's a nightmare to find shoes. So that's one point as well. No, and I believe that.
Some people are complaining that it's not possible to walk in Dubai like in general. They complain that this city doesn't allow people to even take a walk.
Okay.
And then this person is just walking barefoot.
Yeah. I don't know, for maybe some places, yes. But I came from Business Bay to the other side of Business Bay. It was really, really nice. No, I believe, how can I say? It sounds almost childish, you know. But I love Dubai so much. Since 2 years, from so many points of view, it has been fantastic. So it's maybe one that I'm missing is really what we call the Pachamama, the Mother Nature.
Mm.
So I guess as like a child, you know, it's like me walking barefoot is kind of lying to myself that I am a little bit still, you know, caveman in nature. I guess it's just a trick of my mind, to be honest, because is walking on concrete very healthy? I don't know. Does it make me feel good? Yes. Awareness, that's all that matters.
When is your next class?
Tomorrow evening. Advanced workshop, yeah. And then I fly to Amsterdam for a week, and then Bali for 2 weeks. Retreats. So, yeah, it's going to be epic.
On a sunset?
Tomorrow? Yes. It's going to be at 7 p.m. It's advanced workshop, so basically it's like in and out sauna, ice bath, and then 1 hour breathwork. It's going to be intense. You should, Genia. I'm not here to sell you tickets. You too. You should come.
I think I'm sold.
I mean, it's up to you, huh? Guada, the same.
Thank you very much for this conversation. I really enjoy that we covered a lot of things that are important for me, like getting rid of alcohol, a lot of healthy habits, and also the miracle that ice bath is doing with feelings and emotions of people, and also the awareness. And I think that I'm ready for this experience right now. Maybe we can also record it and probably post it on my YouTube channel at some point, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and thank you guys. Thank you for listening to us. And I hope to see you at our next video. And let's guess if I'm doing that or not.